Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. So I decided that I was gonna do a few more offerings here on the channel. So I'm gonna just do announcements first. I was gonna do a few more offerings on this channel, and one of the things that I wanted to do was to do a twin flame connection for people not in union. This is something that's very near and dear to my heart. I am not in union with my divine masculine in the 3D, so I wanted to kind of put that out for everybody. I tried to do the I'm going to post this in a day or two, so I tried to do this reading last night, which actually was after I post this, it'll be a few days. So I tried to do it Sunday night into Monday morning for a few reasons. I am a divine feminine through and through, so I am very connected to the moon and to the power of the moon. And because my divine masculine is, depending on the season, 7 to 8 hours ahead of me, and as a divine masculine, he's very connected to the sun. So I did it around between, midnight and 2, because I wanted to catch a time where the moon was very powerful, and it was kind of the dawn of his time, so kind of the early morning hours, so I can tap into his power as well. It worked very, very well. I got extremely hot, which for me, when I channel, normally I get really, really cold. Whenever I get really hot, it's because I'm pulling in his energy. But yeah, I got like on fire, like my whole chest and my neck literally was beet red. So I definitely was channeling his energy and his divine light, as well as mine. Then stuff just started happening. My guides and I have talked about this a lot in the, in early hours in the morning, and then now. I never needed to connect consciously to them or to the idea, or not idea, but to the voice of the divine, the voice of source, the voice of God. I've always naturally spoken with that. So they reminded me that stuff started happening, technical difficulties started happening, my phone started glitching out. It literally cut off my video like when it was almost done, and then I couldn't retrieve it. Everything, it was just crazy. They reminded me, because I speak with the voice of divine just naturally, that the energies are just too much, and to try and keep these videos under a half an hour, or if I can't, to break them up, and to remind you guys to stay hydrated, and give yourself a lot rest if you need it, but give yourself like good healthy comfort after you see my video, because divine speaks through me. I don't know if you guys have seen this with people who sing, because divine speaks through me, like people who channel through song or channel through like bringing in the actual voice of their guides. It moves a lot of energy. It creates a lot of shifts. So please take care of yourself after you watch my videos. It is 100% okay to stop the video and come back to it at a later time if it is too much for you. And basically, they told me that all this stuff went wrong because I brought in so much energy for you guys. I brought in just so much divine essence that my phone could not take it, and neither could any of you guys. And I actually I experience this myself, because I don't always, I don't go back and edit my videos, because part of my journey is to be authentic and to be vulnerable. So if I go back and edit my videos, like they'll be just super edited, and that is not part of my journey. So I don't normally go back and look at my videos unless my guides guide me to. And even when I look back on my videos, it changes and moves energy in me so bad that I have to like super rehydrate. I am very parched right now. I actually woke up with a headache because of all the, I started the video again after it cut me off. And I literally was just talking for 15 minutes, and the other video was like 40 minutes long. So the 15 minutes was enough to, like, I still have a headache today. So yeah, guys, if you find that you can't take this video, I'm not going to take it personally. But me and Divine created a plan. So basically what's going to happen is that I'm going to create a video of me just saying, hey, this is my shuffling video, and then my taking notes video. And then you guys can see that if you want, so that there's pure transparency here and there's no like, oh, she just pulled these cards and this is not the truth of what Divine wants to tell me. So I will create two videos, one where I explain everything, and the second where, or the first where I shuffle and I take notes on what Divine is trying to tell me, the messages from the books, and then the second is the actual, like, me speaking about the message. The first one I'm gonna try and speak as minimal as possible. And then I actually have a blog page that I've been just talking about how like this journey's going, and they told me that it would be really good to do an in-depth post on these bigger posts, these connection posts. So sorry guys, I have a lot of air that comes up when I channel Divine. I always know that I'm speaking with the divine voice when like things move within me. But I will be creating blog posts, which is why it'll take a few days from shooting this video to get it out. So yeah, crazy things happening. I'm learning more about myself and my life. So thank you guys for giving me an opportunity to do that here on this channel. And other announcements, you guys don't have to, please don't feel obligated, but you guys, part of my journey is also to be open to receiving. I've received some great comments recently, and I really absolutely love that. I always told, my motto is if I can help one person, then I help the world. It's one of those things that I don't feel like I need to reach, if I reach 2 million people, that's great. But if I don't, like, all I really need to do is reach one person, and that will make everything worth it. So I'm super happy to reach the people that I have reached. So thank you guys very, very much for giving me that opportunity to be here reaching people. But so don't feel obligated, but part of my journey is to be open to receiving. So I did open up a few avenues for people to donate. I'm going to put all the links below, but I opened up a PayPal Me donation. I opened up a wish list for decks that you want to see on the channel. If you guys gift me any decks, then I will be doing unboxing videos, and I will use them as much as I can on the channel and on my other social media. I will put my blog spots link down under the comments for the more extended, in-depth look at the spread. And I'll put my Instagram information where I put all the pictures of the spread up, and then I do daily stuff as well. What else? Oh, and then I do have an Etsy shop that has right now it has just oracle readings in it for my 2 decks, but I'm going to put tarot readings up here soon. They're definitely a different thing. But if you guys, there's multiple different spreads out there, so including like 1-card spreads. So if you guys would like, and there's multiple different options within that. So there's 1 card spreads, 3 card spreads, and then I believe like any card spreads. So and multiple different options within those tiers. So yeah, if you guys want some personal time with me, because this isn't enough, you have those options. I'll put all of those links below, but I'm gonna get onto the messages of how I did this and then the notes of what came through. So all right, guys, let's get going on this. So I did a 3 card spread. I did the divine feminine, divine masculine, the connection energy, and then the divine feminine energy. As always, my these readings are meant to be timeless, so whenever you see it, you're meant to see it. Spirit has brought it to you. And I will say he for divine masculine and she for divine feminine. That just makes it easier for me, but you know, gender doesn't have anything to do with divine masculine or divine feminine. You can be a female divine masculine, you can be a male divine feminine. So just take what resonates with you, whether you are a divine masculine or a divine feminine within spirit. Okay. So the first cards that I pulled was the overall energy. And the overall energy, again, guys, I'm sorry that you couldn't see this being shuffled. I swear to you, it was. And then, you know, going forward, I'll have that specific shuffling videos for you guys. The decks I'm using are amazing decks, so let me get into the decks really quick. So for the Divine Masculine, I am using my new deck. It's the Good Tarot from Colette Baron Reed. If you guys have seen anything on my channel, you've seen the Spirit Animal Oracles, that's her as well. For the connection, I'm going to use the Celtic Wisdom Tarot from Caitlin Matthews. That's one of the decks that I bought when I was younger, and Divine told me that it has still kept its good energy, so it was good to use for you guys. And then for the Divine Feminine, I actually really love this deck. It's near and dear to my heart. It's something that Divine told me to buy, but I never actually used until I was on my true path. So again, it has kept its good energy, so they gave me the go-ahead to use it for Divine Feminines. But it is the Fairy Wicca Tarot by Kisma Stepanich. I am the worst at names, so I apologize. But I do want to do a little disclaimer about the Fairy Wicca Tarot. Wicca is just a way to describe things. The Celtic wisdom is just a thing to describe things. It doesn't mean that it's evil. Wicca in itself is not evil. Like I think we've gotten in this day and age, we've gotten past the idea that, that witches are evil. Witches are not evil. I just saw a blog post, you guys, we do magic in our lives every day, whether it's, hoping for, excuse me, for the job that we interviewed for, or hoping that somebody's okay when we find out that they had to go to the hospital. Bringing in that energy and that light within ourselves is a part of magic. So also, the deck is not for the faint of heart. It really is for experienced tarot readers, and I experienced this last night as well. There's a lot of extra cards in this deck that denote different things, and the first card for the Divine Feminine was one of these extra cards. So found out pretty quickly last night that I don't know this deck as well as I thought I did, but it's all learning experience. So, but I will move on, guys. The first card for the divine overall energy of the Divine Masculine within a non-union or non-connection union, non-communication, non-connection union is the Ace of Earth. I love the stags in Colette Baron Reed's artwork. It's just, they're fantastic. Stags are a fantastic energy. But it's Ace of Earth, and in traditional tarot, it is the Ace of Pentacles. So going back to my notes, this denotes prosperity in the purest form, concrete results in the physical world, abundance made manifest. This is what our divine masculines are working on. They are working on owning their own power and working on their own abundance. Divine masculines are very good at kind of the logical thinking, the engineer thinking, and bringing things into the tangible, because as we know, divine feminines are better at the kind of like heads in the clouds, connecting with the hidden realms, fantasy type thing. So they're very much trying to work on their abundance, and then they're basically bringing things into 3D. This can be them in their ego, but I don't feel that within this. I feel that I really don't feel that it's 100% rooted in ego. I feel that the divine masculines are getting a more spiritual feel of things. For the divine feminine, the overall energy is the Anira of air, and it is basically it's a maiden of air. In traditional tarot decks, air symbolizes the mental mind, and then her name is Grian. So Grian, her symbology is thinking with the heart, emotional energy and balance, inspiration, and clarity of feeling. There's a lot more to these cards, and I'll put it in a blog post, but basically, in traditional tarot, air has denotes the mental mind, but in this, it denotes that connection with the thinking with the heart, which is very divine feminine, and then emotional balance. And I'm really excited to see this, because I feel like it's been a long road for us divine feminines to get to that emotional balance. But I really feel like this is a connection between our head and heart. We have things in balance now. We are walking our path with that faith and that knowing, that inner knowing of all of this. And the more balanced we stay, the better the divine masculine is going to be. They really need us to be in balance so that they can walk a path of balance, and this path of because it's hard for them to, as I said before, for them to be like, this feels like fantasy. So for them to balance their head and heart, it's best for us to have a balanced head and heart. So I really, really like that, that our energy is coming through for all of us divine feminines. Okay, so the overall energy of the connection is the Judgment of Battle, and it is number 4 from the Celtic Wisdom Tarot. And this one denotes rest, recuperation, solitude, taking pressure off, and a space of meditation. Also great energy for this read, especially for the overall connection, because of the fact that I really feel like because the feminine is in balance, she has been taking the pressure off of the divine masculine to hurry up and get to her. I know this is something in my connection dynamic too. Like there's been times where both of us have come in and been like, I just want you here right now. Why is this not instantaneous like it is in 5D? It's just been like coming down into physicality is really hard sometimes. When you're not in union. Actually, it's not really hard. It is like the hardest thing in the dynamic is to not be with your twin flame. So I completely understand, but I think that we're in a place where we're working on ourselves individually. And when we work on ourselves individually and come into completion within ourselves and balance within ourselves, we magnetize the other one. I honestly take the pressure off. If you keep on thinking about them, just have faith that everything is as it needs to be right now. Give yourself a lot of rest, a lot of recuperation, and concentrate on yourself and your path right now. The second row that I pulled was what the struggles that are coming up for divine masculine, divine feminine, and the connection. The divine masculine, he is right now struggling with the sun. The sun is the divine masculine's seat of power. It is everything that he is that the sun power. I love this card because not only is it number 19 in numerology, number 10 is the completion of a cycle. I really feel like he is getting to the end of struggling with this. He's really coming into his own. I'm just looking at my notes, guys. He's coming into his own, and then on the Good Tarot, it talks about how the sun is abundance. So he's really working on his abundance. I really feel like he wants to get this energy down pat before he comes into his divine feminine, because he doesn't want to be on a rocky foundation. He wants to be on a solid foundation for us. Again, divine masculines can be female. I'm just saying he because it's easier. Also, the one thing I noticed about this card is that she, which I love this card as she, but she is looking towards the sunflower, and the song stuck in my head last night, and it's still playing today. It's that song, I can't remember who says it, but it's "You're my sunflower," and it's sung by a guy, and it's just talking about how he really is in love with this woman, and she's his sunflower. So the divine masculine is looking at his sunflower, thinking about his sunflower all the time, thinking about his divine feminine all the time, and he's doing what he needs to do. He's struggling with it, which I think we've all struggled with coming into our own power, but he's working on himself to get to his divine feminine, because that's all he can think about, and that's all he wants right now. The overall energy for the divine feminine is the six of you see, I can't pronounce this word. I'm worst with words. But in the traditional tarot, it's the Six of Cups. Cups are water energy, and they denote emotions. The things that came out of this card last night and this morning, going back to it, is that it really, I see that this rainbow bridge, this is like our path right here. It's our path going to, the end of fairy tales where they're like, and they lived happily ever after. And a lot of them are on a beach or someplace romantic. So we are trying to walk through our emotions to get to completion get to connection with our divine masculine. So it's basically talking about how what I really got from this card is that we're feeling very balanced right now, and we need to keep feeling balanced. It's really important for us to stay on that balanced path to come into completion within ourselves and then with our divine masculine. The messages from the Fairy Wicca Tarot is that this is poetic inspiration, returning to early love, memories, the energy of love, refreshed, reunion, and pilgrimage. So I think that goes along with what I've been intuitively feeling about this card, where it's just talking about staying balanced, because I think this was a warning for us to kind of track our energies and make sure that we don't get obsessed with stuff. Divine feminines can 100% get obsessed with the divine masculine, especially this day and age with social media and stuff. And when you know who your divine masculine is, it's super easy to cyberstalk somebody. And I fall into this trap too, because my divine masculine actually has a public job. So he posts on social media all the time. And it's easy for me to look at his life and be like, oh my God, he doesn't think of me at all. He's just living his life. And what am I doing here struggling for this connection and blah, 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 blah. But things aren't always as they seem. So, I think the big warning here is to not fall into that trap of obsession, not fall into that trap of focusing on the divine masculine. It's really about focusing on ourselves. I really love that this is, as well as, if you had been in union with your divine masculine before, it's really easy to get caught up in those memories of how it used to be. And Divine told me last night, is telling me again today, they are a different person coming into their power and coming into their spiritual path. So don't, having those expectations if they're the same person good or bad, is something that we just need to let go of. We need to let go of those expectations of who they will be when they show up, and let the universe bring them in for us in a way that's perfect for the union right now, because you are a different person right now. Your divine masculine is also a different person. We change within ourselves as we move along our path. So I really love that this also denotes, kind of a pilgrimage. So if there's anything that, anything that you guys want to do in your life, everything you want to bring in, for your life, it's time to talk to divine about how to do that. Whether it's a new venture or just a new spiritual plane or new spiritual gifts, it's time to open yourself up to divine, release resistance, start receiving. So, yeah. And then the overall struggles within the connection. This is the King of Battle. And the King of Battle denotes, a man who upholds rightful authority in high or professional office. And then he does this because he has a commitment to the common good. And they basically told me that the reason why this card is coming out is because the connection within the relationship is having struggles with how culture and society and people outside of the spiritual path is going to see this. So I think both sides have a little bit of fear of how everybody else is going to perceive it. Big thing to remember with this, guys, is that it doesn't matter who on the outside perceives this. It only matters how you on the inside perceive it. So if something if you're talking about a twin flame to somebody and somebody's like, oh, I don't believe that, and you're triggered, find out why you're triggered. I think a lot of this has to do with self-worth as well. And you can't own your power when you have low self-worth. You guys are the most powerful beings in your existence. But if you don't believe that you're the most powerful beings in your existence, or you let somebody else's ego get into your head and kind of mess you over in the headspace, you can't walk on your true path. So it's really about finding that balance within yourself, owning your power, and remember that other people's opinions, if they don't feel right for you, don't take them on. Have that discernment within yourself that it's not for you, that those ideas are not for you, especially with the divine masculine being logical and the divine feminine being I think sometimes we can be like, oh, I just, that's crazy thinking. Like, we can just slide it under the rug. Guys, this, if you feel this connection is real, it's real. It's one of those things that, let divine guide you to who and where you need to be. And just because the connection is real, don't ever let anybody cross your boundaries, emotionally, physically, mentally. But we have connections with everybody that we meet on a daily basis, whether it's our neighbors or our family or our twin flame. We have those connections. Those connections are real. So don't let anybody tell you that, if you're speaking to your grandfather or to your angels or to your guides or to your twin flame, like don't let anybody else's doubt get in your head. Have that discernment within yourself. The last row of cards that I pulled were for kind of the energies that will help in the next the next few weeks, basically. Basically stuff to remember along your path, and that will help you come into connection. This doesn't mean you're going to get into connection in the next few weeks. If you are, awesome, like put in comments down below and let me know. But for now, it's just talking about basically like the energies that will help you. For the divine masculine, he got the Fool, and I absolutely love this card. The Fool is one of my favorite cards to come up for myself, because it denotes starting of a new journey, and that new journey can be anything that you can dream up and more, because the divine loves to bring us things that we haven't even thought of yet. If we release the package that they're coming in, so if we release our view of and how things are going to work out, and just have faith that they will work out, the universe is going to bring in some great things for us. But and so the message for the Fool is, with the good tarot, is trust with faith in the spiritual self. And it's really, you know, not giving your power over to your guides or giving your power over to the universe. It's giving yourself the power to be like, my higher self has my back, my guides have my back, everybody is up there, making sure that everything is working out for me, and having that trust that it is, and having that faith that if it hasn't worked out yet, you're not at the completion of your journey yet, guys. You're not, you know, it's always ask. My big thing with my guides is I ask how, I ask why, I ask what, you know, and when they come back to me of, you know, you just got to trust us, and you're not meant to know that peace right now, you know, I find it within myself to be okay with that. And then I find I'm going back to the Divine Masculine video a few days ago. It's being okay with that uncertainty, not letting ego hijack it. Not letting ego be like, oh, that dark is scary, like we shouldn't go in there. No, like, have faith that you can bring the torch for yourself. And if you don't have faith in that, like, have your guides do it for you until you get there. There are so many times where I cried out, like, with tears bawling for my guides, because I couldn't be that person for myself yet. And whereas now, like, when my guides come in, they're just like, you got this. Why are we even here? Like, come on now. Like, you're on your path. Like, you don't need us. I always tell them that I want them there, because I like, you know, I like talking to my guides. But yeah, a lot of times you just have to have faith in something, and then you can have faith in yourself. So if you can only have faith in yourself, have faith in yourself. If you can only have faith that divine has a path for you, have faith with that, Divine Masculines. What the Divine Feminines need to work on is this beautiful extra card in this deck, another extra card, so, you know, just proving that us Divine Feminines are just that much special, more special and more extra, is the Tree of Life. The Tree of Life is about it's basically like, I really feel like it's the Fool card plus for the Divine Feminines, but it's basically ready to begin a journey, moving forward with your journey, after you become rooted within your journey, rooted within Gaia, rooted within yourself. So it's another card of like, hey, ground yourself, be balanced, and then keep on moving on your journey. So yeah, it's like the Fool plus. So having these two energies coming out for both of you guys, this is amazing. You guys are both, I feel like you're ready to, you know, if you have a little faith, stay balanced and grounded. You guys are ready to start this journey. And I'm super excited about it. The last card is the connection card. So basically, like, what the energies of the connection need to be in, or for the next few weeks. It's number 7, the Adventure of Art, and I absolutely love this symbol. It's actually on the back of the cards, but this has a lot of meanings in it, for Druid and Celtic religions, but it's basically, you know, this is the mind, body, and soul. When the Celtic religion was adopted into Christianity, they changed it to the you guys, if you know the Celtic cross, you know that the you know, Celtics, their symbol was a sun, and then the Celtic cross is a sun with the cross, because, you know, they merged into Christianity, or some ideas into Christianity, but when it was merged, it was the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. So so take it as you will. It's also a pyramid, which are very, like, the pyramid are very your mind, body, and spirit, your, you know, and pyramids of Egypt, you know, that sort of thing. So very big spiritual messages in there, but the biggest thing that comes out of this is to keep yourself balanced in these areas. This also talks about illusion and fantasies, daydreams, and escapism. So I think it's very much warning us to be balanced within ourselves and not get into like this energy, like the divine feminine, where you can create a huge fantasy with your head, and if it's not, or with your emotions and with your mind, and if it's not, you know, if the package doesn't come out exactly as the fantasy that you have in your head, it can throw you off balance. So I really feel like just to stay balanced within yourself and within the connection, having that faith, but leaving it be, giving it that rest and taking the pressure off so you can go own your power and own your path and walk and move forward on your path is a great thing. And it'll help you come into completion with yourself and magnetize your connection, magnetize your other half. So I'm excited for the spread. I'm excited what the spread brought out. I will have a more in-depth look to it in a few days with or when I release this video, basically on WordPress. But I am so excited for this because it talks a lot about balance, owning your power, and walking on the path to come into union. So it gives me a lot of hope, guys. I'm hoping it gives you guys a lot of hope too. You know, as always, I love you guys, and I'm just really excited for where our connection is right now, even though we're not in union yet. So I will talk to you guys later. Hopefully this resonated with you. Yeah, I love you guys. Have a good one. We'll see you soon.